Boy, oh boy. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Gators Summit. Good to see you. This show is, of course, brought to you by PrizePicks. As you can see, there's only two of us today. Ali has had a trend this weekend of bailing out on big time moments, and she's keeping it consistent here this afternoon. She's got a little. Oh, I thought she just added her in here for a minute. We swapped.
No. I was like, you spoke first. I should have had you on the left. I don't know what I was going through.
Oh shit, she's here. Hopefully she'll join us, but she's got a little bit of a family emergency. Nothing too serious, but she's got a little caught up with that. But we're gonna rock and roll anyways. Have ourselves a great show. Of course, we got Gator Dave from Gators Breakdown, and of course myself, Shelton with Hightop Sports. Dave, we had ourselves a weekend, my friend. It's crazy to think it was literally only actually 24 hours worth, but it felt like a week worth.
I am still recovering in more ways than one. Fatigue, muscle soreness, coach kind of calling me out in the post-game press conference with that. Good stuff. But yeah, man, look, big shout out to you guys for a big old bash that you were throwing for a couple of days. Thanks for including me in all of it. And, you and Ali together with this summit all coming together as well. But what a blast it was. Gainesville was on fire, man. I mean, for a spring game and all that, it was, we know the recruits got caught up in it and all that stuff as well. But for the time that we got down there Friday about midday to, as you said, Saturday afternoon, man, it was just it was 90 miles an hour wherever we were going.
It was nuts. I was trying to think. I was like, man, the last spring game I was here, I drove everywhere with ease. It was fine. Like I had no problems at all. And I was like, I couldn't. I felt like I thought it was literally a game day was happening. On Friday, I was like, we were trying to find parking and go to the Havener Center. I was like, what is going on? Like, am I missing something here? Like, I understand school's on, right? But it was awesome. It was cool to see. Again, we talked a little bit about it last night, but you were there. Obviously, you showed up to the Havener Center with us as well. I was talking about how we were just a bunch of goons waiting around in there with all these. I mean, Warfels in there, Shreklin's eating lunch, and we're just like, hey, everybody, you're running around.
Here's 30 of us just standing in the front door. Can I have some change? Change?
Everyone was very, very polite, though. Like, I will say, again, not that anybody was rude last time, but I felt like everyone kind of went out of their way to make sure that we were taken care of, which was, I didn't know what to expect, but they were very helpful, very nice, and very, very cordial. But it was just really cool to see just the buzz with the recruits. Like you could see who was a recruit and just the way they were walking around, all these coaches. I mean, I saw Coach McKissick, Coach Buster, Coach Chapman. Now these guys are kind of behind the scenes, but I also saw them kind of in the real world, right? Not like behind it where we were, but walking around, just eating, showing the kids around the campus and whatnot. So very cool to be a part of that during the time. You hear about it, right? We talk about it on a regular basis when we talk to, guys that are interviewing these recruits, and to kind of see it in real life was a really cool thing for me anyways.
Yeah. And I thought it was just what you just mentioned there. And I think the coaches kind of walking around and stuff, great appetizer for them. Don't get me wrong. It was a great atmosphere, as good as I think you could hope for an April 11th spring game. It's still not like a normal game day.
No,
I think they got a really good feeling of, hey, that's an appetizer, and that the energy that was down for a spring game in April, it was great. It was awesome. They're probably thinking in their mind, how much better is it really going to be from this? Obviously, the stadium would be full, but where we were at in the O-Dome parking lot, where everything was happening right in front of the stadium, that actually felt like a normal game day in just that area because everything was so concentrated.
Yeah.
So I think they got a pretty good whoa, or maybe a wake-up call. Maybe we'll get some feedback from them in the next few days or whatever. But I can imagine going through their heads like, okay, yeah. Not necessarily the we've made it, because you don't want them to kind of think that. But like, okay, we're here. We see how serious it is for this fan base. This fan base is starving for some wins. I think we've come across with that message pretty well. I think I'd love to get their feedback, because I can see just the environment that was there. Even though not your typical game day, it was still a great game day atmosphere.
Yeah, I remember looking around the parking lot, and again, compared to last year, like I hadn't really done that like a spring game like that at a tailgate since, so I didn't have anything to compare it to. Last year, it was just the norm for me. Now, keep in mind, last year there wasn't known that I wasn't going to be on TV until the day of, so I think that played a huge factor as well too. Right? Like a lot of key things that were going on for it. But I remember looking around. Not to mention, I mean, the tailgate was incredible. The show out was awesome. But outside of that, beyond that, like looking at cars throughout the parking lot was nuts. Like you said, it felt. Now game day, the thing's packed out. You're not hanging out like we were. Like
yeah, we're not running and dizzy golfing and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, not quite. And I was thinking, I was like, man, we got to do something big for the first game. I was like, we're gonna rematch for the Olympics, and I was like, we can't host the same kind of thing in that particular parking lot. Because you just literally hang out at your tailgate when it's game day. So it's not quite, but man, 47,000 people.
Yeah,
insane. For the fact that the entire student section, in my opinion, was 25% full was huge, in my opinion. And obviously the home side was, I mean, it was bumping. It was bumping all the way up to the top. Champions Club was on fire. The bottom row. I mean, the fact that I remember I posted a video of me and my son doing won't back down. Like at nighttime is like in my opinion the peak. And obviously during a big game, but it felt awesome. And yesterday it was really cool, even though it wasn't jam packed. Like I mean that song, that song in the swamp always hits, but it was a great time. And keep in mind, this is going into the fourth quarter. At this point, it was starting to thin out a little bit, and it was still bumping.
Yeah, I mean, it was the. I just talked about it right before. I did a quick episode on Gators Breakdown talking about the newest commit, Amari Fountain, and it was just. You could just. It was our first time to be able to come together as a fan base under John Summerall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whether it was a spring game or not, and we knew, like you said, we knew it wasn't going to be a normal game day, 80, 90,000 people, but it was our first chance since the day he's been hired to come together as a fan base for however this was going to look. And I think you could feel the excitement level. I put a tweet out earlier today. I think what we've learned from the time John Summerall was hired to the last few days we got to spend with him, the fan base is attaching themselves to this guy. And if he brings the wins with it, it is going to be unmatched because many just really didn't know about him at all. Unless he was just a Tulane coach. That was really all you knew about him. And okay, they're in a playoff. They won a lot of games. It was Lane Kiffin this, Lane Kiffin that. He's come around. Everybody's come around on him a good bit. If he pairs the wins with all the interaction we've seen with the fan base over the last few months, this thing is going to be rocket ship, hard to stop, and Gator Nation is going to be so attached to the person John Summerall is, and it's just going to be times 100 if he wins all the games that we want him to win. And they get the expectation. They get that. They didn't shy away from it. You and I both talked to Joe, his brother, Friday. And he's like, we get it. We know what you guys want. We're embracing it. We know exactly. This is a starving fan base. And I think that plays into it. Had John Summerall been named head coach and even the same guys he has been or whatever, I think we'd attach it to that. But this fan base is starved for wins. And it hasn't happened. If it happens just out of nowhere with a guy many didn't really expect it to and now have latched onto, this thing is, I think it's just going to be a bomb that explodes.
No question. I mean, you nailed it on the head. What he's been able to do up until this point. And again, the Jalen Brewster stuff that we can possibly get into is massive. Just how he's attacking the recruiting. He seemed to have a bit more. I mean, he hasn't really lacked confidence this entire time, but that presser after the spring game, I don't know, it had a different aura about him. Like it kind of felt, I think this was probably his first time seeing the response from everybody, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because obviously, gets to the 40, that was a small taste, and then at alma mater, and then obviously he goes into the game. So that was, I mean, up until that point, he probably just had kind of small doses of it. And then it was like, okay, cool. Like this is everything and then some, right? Like how he had been received. I think that kind of gave him some wind beneath his wings. That because think about it, he's kind of just been operating of like, hey, I'm just a psychopath and I want to win. But then you kind of go out there and you're like, all right, everyone's feeding off this and responding. We got to go out there and be about it and start to and capitalize on it. So I was glad to see how much love and appreciation the fan base gave him. I wonder if he'll continue to be this accessible as we move on. Yeah. And the only reason I say that, it's not because like he's going to hide or anything, but we Cody and I talk all the time. I can't remember what coach says it, but when you're an SEC head coach, you're a star. Yeah. Like you can't go grocery shopping. And so I mean, I'm sure he has it a little bit now, but after you play and coach, there's fans that don't really know who he is right now. When you get out there and you're front 90,000, you start winning some football games, right? Or don't win because Billy probably had it the other way around. It's hard to go out and go shake hands because the masses are a little bit bigger.
Okay, so this just came in my head. This is what I was typing up.
I was wondering. I saw the brain clicking. I was like, you better give us something juicy here.
All right, so let me find the comment because I think you even said it. I wanted to make sure we were on the same page. The attendance, was announced 47,000, right?
Yes,
I think that's what we saw, around 47.
Yes, I just read Dylan Allham's comment. Sorry.
What was it?
You can read it. I'm listening to Gator Day more than Shelton because he is faster, which means he's better. Go ahead.
We'll get into that too. We'll get into that in just a second too. All right, Shelton, what is the attendance or what is the capacity of Tulane's football stadium?
Oh wow. It's got to be what, 54? No, Tulane, because I think Ole Miss is like 64, so it's probably half of that. 32.
30.
Damn.
So he had a bigger spring game crowd.
Then sold out. Yeah.
Did he ever have for a
juices were flowing. Juices were flowing.
So there you go. Like I said, that was their first taste. Now, obviously, Buster Faulkner been in the SEC at Georgia Tech, playing in big stadiums, playing at Georgia and all that. Brad White at Kentucky. Johnson Raw as a player. Look, he knew that. But as a head coach, the first time he'd been able to be in this scenario as the home head coach for him. So I don't know why that just popped in my head, but I was like, yeah.
No, I love that.
He probably had a bigger spring game crowd than he had a home game crowd at Tulane.
I mean, which again, I'm sure a sold out stadium feels a little bit different, right? But you still can. I'm telling you, the energy was great on Saturday. That the buzz was there, and we'll start transitioning to that in just a minute. But the video, the hype video of him like in the center.
Oh yeah,
everybody love like this is home. Tank. Empty the tank. I'm like, dog, it's practice. But like I think that's. To me, these are and I'm joking. Like, I love it. I think it's needed because it's the mindset of like when you step into this arena, I don't care if it's a spring game or game 1, which is versus nobody, or game 8 versus, Texas. This is your home. Play like it, act like it. So in September, week 8, you already know what it feels like to come in here and give it all that you got. And so look, we haven't seen anything like that in quite some time from a head coach. Now,
lay the groundwork, lay the foundation, lay down the expectation for the players right away.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And look, I'm not saying hoorah always wins football games, but like, I mean, we love it. We as Gator fans, that's why there was obviously a connection to Lane and wanting that because of his spaz, because of his energy. Like we like a coach that throws fits. Like, let's be honest. Like, that's just kind of who we are. We want a little bit of pizzazz. We want to show that you care. We want a couple clipboards, some visors are being thrown, a couple F-bombs. His tongue gets a working. We're a big fan of that. So yeah, I love it.
As I was joking about that on the episode last night or yesterday from the stadium before I left. I don't know if it was because of Sumrall and his approach or whatever like that. I was like, look at me, I cuss like a sailor behind the scenes.
Well, I was like, really? Okay.
On the podcast, no, I don't. I control it there, but on the behind the scenes, I do. So I don't mind the few F-bombs a head coach will throw out there. It just I think it comes with it.
It's contagious. Contagious, Dave. You might be careful. I dropped an F-bomb in the middle of the Saturday morning Olympics. I was so fired up.
You did. Christine Gerlis, we saw her there Saturday morning. Great freaking weekend, she says. Yeah. The buzz around Somerville is electric and contagious. Hightop Olympics was awesome. Love meeting everybody. And now it's now a family tradition moving forward. Any idea on attendance? We talked about that. And then Swamp Talk with Tony. Hell of a time, boys. Good to meet you, Dave. Go Gators. New era.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping we can do this. I mean, I expect us to do something very similar. I don't know if we're going to do the 40, but have some sense of, of us creating some type of events. We've done something similar to it. For Alma Mater definitely, I think, will be a consistent. I mean, we've done that for the last 2 years. That, I think, is a no-brainer. But I would also like to do some kind of crazy event like we did, like more of like the 40. Right now, it seems like the breaking 80 might be the thing for next year, and which would be fun.
As I was leaving the swamp yesterday, I saw there were. I'm not going to say that we were the motivation behind this, but I saw like a group of like 6, 7 people, 100-yard sprint as the sprinklers were going on down the swamp.
In the swamp?
In the swamp. I was packing up my bag. I had just recorded the episode, so there I am. I'm just looking at the field, putting stuff in my bag. And there's one guy in a button up and khakis. He's taking his shoes off, and a girl in some skirts and I don't know what they were doing. Like I was way up top, and way up high.
Yeah.
But I thought they were just about to run a 40. No, they run full length through the sprinklers all the way through from one tunnel to or from one end of the field to the other. So.
It was crazy weekend too with frat kids. I'm sure they were probably just having a blast, but we could take credit for the inspiration, no doubt about it. But yeah, man, it was awesome. I mean, it was cool too, obviously, because we kicked off this Gator Summit. So it was cool because this was the first time that we've all got together. It was like hey, we've always been on the same team, but like we also have something we're building together now, right? Yeah. Like we were always kind of here, just kind of building our thing and being part of it as Gator fan bases, but this is the first time where it was like, look, like this is also like a family because we're actually really building something. So it was even cool because the Olympics had us three in the final.
It ended up that way.
It's cool because like obviously like your three podcasts that we always are making content, but now obviously coming together. So it was really cool to see it all come to fruition and see it in person. So.
Yeah, I know, and I know Ali wish he was here to say this too. Everybody thanks for the shout outs for the summit because there were a lot since we were all together, and I think it was on a lot of people's minds. Oh yeah, everybody from the summit's here as well. So there were a lot of comments of quickly how this thing has come together, and all the shout outs that you guys gave for us that too. So the 40 was fun. The 40 was fun. I think the joke all weekend for me was 18-year-old me would be disappointed. Almost 43-year-old me, not too mad.
5'5", 5'6", very impressive. Very. I mean, think about Eric Wilbur. I mean, he was great too. 5'1", 5'0". So he played in the NFL, Dave. I don't think you did. I could be wrong there.
I did not.
Were you the third fastest?
If I did, I missed a check.
Were you the third fastest?
Brandon, Eric, I had to be third or fourth.
Yeah, I think I was. Oh, Ty was up there. It may have been Ty.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why third or fourth. Yeah, I knew it was somebody else was around that mark.
I think I was next. I was 5'7".
But I was the oldest fastest.
Okay. So then. That's a W. You won your age group.
Well, I think Eric and I are about the same age. I can't say that. Never mind. I can't say that.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
But as you said. Non-athlete, oldest non-athlete. There we go.
We were both faster than Ali. That we can confirm.
We can
confirm. So that was good.
She might have ran it so fast nobody saw her.
That is also true.
That might have been what happened. I'm not sure. No, we got it on tape. I can't believe she backed out.
Yeah, she listen. We're not gonna let her slide. If she doesn't go on tonight, she's gonna get it on Thursday. I can assure you.
That's why
she chirped. She chirped a ton.
Yeah, that's why she didn't show up tonight.
Oh, 100%. She tried to throw her kid under the bus, but that wasn't the case. That wasn't.
One more super chat right here, and we'll get kind of to the spring game, I guess. I'm so due for the first time in years that I got me and the wife 2 of the few season tickets that Okay, hold on. I'm trying to piece this together. 2 of the few season tickets that will be left with all the excitement for this coaching staff. Oh, there we go. I got it. I'll be seeing you guys a lot more this year. Awesome family. Good. It's the Ace. Okay, there we go.
Oh, the Ace. Hell yeah, Ace.
Yep.
I met him as well. I remember because I can remember the Ace name. That's an easy one.
Same here.
Remember. Do we want to go over PrizePicks real quick before we dive into the spring game, or you want to do the spring game first?
We'll go to PrizePicks.
Okay. We did not bode well for our picks from past Thursday. By the way,
Augusta did not treat me well all week.
Yeah. You know what? It was so bad. I'm going to show you here. We went 0 for 3. we weren't even close. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think you took Scotty. What's funny is the DeChambeau pick was never going to be good. Okay, so Ali was extremely cold there. I felt like both of our picks were reasonable, and we were wrong too. So I can't really hate on her, but yeah, we completely goose egged.
Dang.
Yeah.
I
And
missed
then
it all week.
it was tough, man. This was Ty, and it was looking pretty good. And then Hao Tong Lee, I mean, talk about exploding. Did not have himself a day. Cam Young obviously didn't really lock.
I had one today that I thought was the easiest one ever. It was 10 pars for Scotty.
That was a thing?
Now, yeah, that was a thing.
And he had 9. And he had 9, didn't he?
No, he blew it out of the water. I think he had maybe 14.
Oh,
so he went on that run toward the end.
Yeah, he had no bogeys.
Right. Yeah. So what we got?
That's sweet. I didn't even know they had that. Well, boys and girls, of course, the show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Make sure you guys use the code HMA, play $5 and get $50 instantly in lineups. But we're kind of running dry here with our picks right now for tonight or even tomorrow because it's late.
Yeah, because it's late on Sunday. Yeah,
our golf's over. I try to look at the calendar to see if I could look tomorrow. That's not available. We got hockey though, and we've got 5 minutes before the game starts. So
what about the baseball game? Is Braves and Cubs?
Oh, okay, we got time. It says it's starting, but I guess we have time. All right, let's rock.
There are some in-game picks you can make.
Okay, well,
sometimes
great information. Didn't realize we could do that. Okay,
yeah.
So we'll rock and roll. I mean, Chris Sale's pitching against the Cleveland Guardians. I like for the more 5.5. It's the Green Goblin. They got two different things. The red means it's kind of a little harder, and it pays out more too. Just so you guys are aware of what these mean. So this is like a favorable pick, but the odds are not as great. All right.
And then, Shelton, if you click on it, like just not on the bet, but if you click on it, just the card, it should show you like a trend. Oh, my bad. Just like anywhere on the player card.
Yeah, maybe? Usually it does. It's not, though.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it'll show you how well they've been doing over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You can also alter it, too, but this one, for whatever, I think it's because it's starting. They're like, it's just kind of like what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why it's saying like him just getting half a home run. Okay.
Oh yeah, you can only pick more on that. There's no less.
Yeah, there is no less. So that's why it's not.
Oh, because the game has started. So of course.
Okay. You pick the next one then. I got Chris Sale for more than 5.5 Ks.
All right, so it has to be a different team, I think, right, or a different player.
We have to have 3, or you guys we 2. So yes, if only 2, then yes, it had to be a different team.
So
we'll do Jose Ramirez. That's 1.5. It's going against our strike.
Who's the other pitcher? Who's Cleveland's pitcher?
I don't see him on here. This is all I've got for this particular game.
Okay. Man, I can't even see it. So small on the screen here.
Oh, well, we got Matt Olson, Drake Baldwin. The other team, we've got Angel Martinez for more than half of hits, runs, and RBIs.
Oh, more than half.
And it all just locked. All right.
It's all just locked. I think people have got the gist. You probably don't have to roll through with this one.
We're in shambles here. Yeah, we're in shambles here.
But I noticed that last week. I was doing an episode, and late Sundays are not a great time.
Yeah, not favorable for us. Well, we've clicked plenty of lineups. My account is rolling low due to the fact of our horrible picks over the last couple weeks. However, you still can follow us again. I at Shelton Hightop. Dave, tell me where they can follow you so you can. At this point, boys, I think you should just fade our picks. That's kind of my word of advice for all of you.
The crazy thing I was saying was good about PrizePicks is they kind of do help you because I've done better in basketball and baseball than I did golf, and I watch a lot more golf.
We're back.
Oh, okay.
And it locked again. Okay. It keeps pausing it because it is live. So I think
yeah. Okay.
Good.
All good. But yeah, that's the good thing. Like I've done better with basketball and baseball than I have golf, and I watch a lot more golf. So that's how easy it can be. Picking more or less. They give you the trends, all that stuff. So just go with it.
All right. Drake Baldwin's been hot, and I'm taking for.
All right, just go. Yeah, just build it there.
Yeah, more for half a hit there, and then I'll take Angel Martinez for more than half a hit right there. And listen, we haven't been great, so we're gonna keep the light there. But there we go. Got the picks in. So again, it's very similar. Obviously, it was probably pausing due to the fact of
game starting.
Game action happening during the game. But be sure to download that today on PrizePicks. Use the code HMA. Play $5, get $50 instantly. PrizePicks, run your game. Now, spring game, Dave.
Yep.
How we feeling, boss? How are we feeling? We got quarterbacks. We got a line to talk about.
Yeah.
Everyone has opinions are flying high. Give
Really
me the veteran experience in the room here. What are we thinking?
Obviously, and Buster said it after the game, that's just one little avenue that we have been able to see. Now, it's the most public avenue. And when you look at quarterback, I don't think it was by some great margin, but if I had to pick who outplayed the other, I think I got to go Trammell. I think when the game started out, Philo was able to lead the team down a little bit better early on, but it was not explosive. It was very check downish. It was short yardage, swings, screens, intermediate passes. Some of that probably due to, all right, let's have an extension of the run game a little bit as well with some of those things. I thought Philo looked a little more comfortable early on. As the game went on, I thought Trammell started looking more comfortable. Obviously, I think some of the plays started to bear that out. Started opening up a bit more as well. Tramell's deep ball that we all thought he had was beautiful, and that was put on display. The one I'm more impacted. I know the 75-yard to Micah was the play of the day just because it's a 75-yard touchdown, but the beauty of the throw to Singleton, and Singleton's coming all the way across the field, was just, it needed to be right there at the pylon. It pretty much was right in the end zone. It just dropped it in there. So I think being able to see the deep ball from Trammell goes a long way. And then with Philo, the 2 picks are obviously what you're going to go to. I think when you start looking at who can maybe separate themselves from the other, Trammell not having the 2 interceptions that Philo had. And yeah, it was a good play by Douglas, but Philo even said after the game, yeah, he kind of maybe fooled me a little bit, and I should have thrown it over his head a little bit. So the quarterback was taking a little bit of blame for that as well. And then the second one, of course, VB3 over the middle. It's behind him. You can't do that. That's going to lead to an interception almost every time. So I think because if it wasn't for the 2 picks, I'd say, okay, it's still pretty even. You got Philo, who maybe looks more in command, but you got Trammell, who's going to hit the big play. I've seen a lot of comparisons with the way Philo plays to maybe a Graham Mertz style of offense, where not taking the chances. He did take some chances. He overthrew the deep ball a couple of times. It did get opened up. He did hit some bigger plays right before halftime as well. I still think it's pretty close. From a lot of people that I talked to all weekend, going back to this was just one example of it all. There were days like this for both quarterbacks all the way throughout. There was still one day. Today happened to be Trammell's day, or the orange and blue game happened to be Trammell's day. But I think if I had to play a game next weekend, we all saw with most of our own eyes Trammell looked better. I'd probably roll with Trammell. I still don't know how the coaches see it. I still think it's a battle going into fall camp.
Yeah, I actually was thinking about that last night. # shower thoughts about that, of that comparison. It does feel very Graham Mertz, DJ Lagway-esque, like freshman year, where you have a quarterback that's more of that managing style. Now, I do believe that Philo commands it better, and Mertz commanded it very well too. But Philo was, I feel at this point, really good at hitting his checkdowns and had more efficiency of controlling the offense. There was time where Mertz just kind of felt very choppy and very kind of robotic. That was what I did like about Philo. And then, of course, Lagway would come in and kind of hit the bigger throws. But I think that Trammell looked 100 times better than what DJ did in that particular example. I was more so just saying it like kind of that vibe of like game manager versus gunslinger, right? But Trammell still managed the game well once his feet got underneath him and was commanding the pocket very well. Those were things that I was impressed with. And I've kind of said this since the beginning. The reason I have been giving Philo the edge is simply due to experience. And he looked like he had more experience. He looked more poised. It's a hard thing to explain. I don't know how to explain it, like outside of just the command of the offense, just his flow through, calling plays, calling checkdowns. There was times where DJ just looked uncomfortable last year, and that frustrated me, right? Trammell looked like that very early on, just very frazzled.
His first throw, I was like, ooh. and then it started coming along.
It was like blatant. Like it was just like, whoa, this isn't close at all. I was like, Philo's about to run away with this thing, and then it flipped on its head. So, again, people are like, oh, he threw 2 interceptions, which he has thrown the most interceptions throughout the
Champ's in here with a couple comments. Stephen Harris, Jones led Jones led in the 2 prior scrimmages as well.
The prior 2 scrimmages before this one.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what he means. And then right after that, Philo threw more interceptions all spring, which did seem to be the word. Yeah.
Yeah, he's had more turnovers all spring, no question. And so again,
which is surprising. Coach even said after the game that, hey, he's not really a turnover machine or anything like that. So,
look, I think
that was a.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. Trammell looked really good. I wasn't really. I mean, for me, the quarterback play was someone kind of nailed on the head of like, look, neither guy is going to like knock your socks off, but either guy can handle it and manage the game, and that's kind of how I felt. It's like I didn't feel like I was in concern with either quarterback, to be quite honest with you. And I do think there's still a long way to go. There's a lot of work in progress for both those guys, but can they manage? I do. Like some trolls were having fun with the DBs. Like I saw one guy from a football network. It's like, dude, you one like. We're making an assumption off of 60 minutes of football, not even because the other half was third string and ninth string. People are making assumptions off of 2 clips. Like, DB's getting burnt. Like, no, that play is you're guarding Eric Singleton, and it finally was designed like that. By the point that he was open, a DB can't cover for 9 hours. We finally had good blocking protection. Jermell had some time to step up, and he had to hit the throw still. Like, and look, the DB was there, but like that's gonna happen. No DB is guarding that. I don't. Caleb Downs.
How can we talk up these receivers and then be surprised when the DB gets beat?
Yeah.
I mean, if the receivers that we're talking up are supposed to be as good as we think they are, that's going to happen.
VB3, Eric Singleton, Bailey Stockton. I don't think there's a DB in the country right now that's going to be able to lock down all 3 of them, right? Like you may have one-on-one, but you got all 3 of them. You don't have 3 quarterbacks deep. So they're probably going to be a lot of guys open. And that's where you're going to have to like scheme some things up and be able to bring some heat. And then again, you toss in Micah Mays, who was burning cats too. Look, the wide receiver room, we heard about flashes and the talent. I felt the route trees were much better this go around. I felt like they were there. Like it felt more efficient. I didn't see things get clotted up. A lot of mesh plays, which that's where I think we saw the ball moved, and then block on the perimeter was great by the wide receiver, which I was a huge fan of. Like again, it felt very Napier-esque early on, kind of like your bubble screens and a lot of motion, but it was efficient. It was being effective. It really was. And keep in mind, there is a huge factor. Ball, I think, played once. I think he took like 1 or 2 snaps. So not to take anything away from the other guys, but being able to just hand him the rock on a 2nd and 4 to give you a couple more yards opens things up tremendously, which also keep in mind too, they didn't really run the ball early on. They were just really throwing it. There was a middle part of the game where the touchdown started happening where Trammell hit his big throw, Philo hit a touchdown throw, Trammell hit another big throw. There was like a nice ebb and flow of running the ball, hitting passes. Like it kind of like started finding this rhythm for a good minute, and then it literally they turned it off.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I think pretty encouraging too. 2 springs in a row where we have heard about a talent at receiver. Last year, Dallas Wilson as a freshman, it showed out in spring game.
Yeah.
All throughout spring, Micah Mays is that guy. Micah Mays is making plays. What did we see in the spring game? Micah Mays making plays. So it's good. Now, not everything you hear that's good ends up translating, and we'll see what happens even in the regular season with this. We've seen spring superheroes not do anything in the fall. But I do think pretty encouraging because of what you think that group has and what he was able to do with Dallas Wilson being on the sideline and really say, all right, from the get-go, it's like it was almost week 1. Hey, this kid, Malcolm Mays, don't overlook what he's been able to do. And then we see it in the spring game. So I'm always a big fan of, because I know you hear it too, Sean, a lot of the things we hear behind the scenes. And some of it comes to fruition and some of it doesn't. I'm a big fan of a lot of things that we hear behind the scenes. And look, that wasn't like really private knowledge. If you listen to a lot of podcasts, if you go on a lot of websites, Micah Mays was a name that was really coming through all spring. And then when the lights are on, when fans are in the stadium and there's phones out recording some video, we see Micah Mays making some plays.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a good point too, where there was a lot of trends that we've heard about this whole spring game. Like nothing shocked me negatively. Positively, I would say Micah Mays was more impressive than I thought, because even though we heard his name, it was still like, I thought it was like, hey, he's just like, it was like, we're getting more bang for our buck kind of flash. Because again, when we brought him in, it wasn't because of everything else. It wasn't as we talked about it. It was a great pickup, but in the sense of like you have bringing in Eric Singleton, you have Dallas Wilson, it kind of got overshadowed, right? The edge room, again, we've heard, hey, the cornerback room has shows flashes. I need more consistency. Exactly what I saw. Hermione McClain making big time plays. We saw DJ Coleman make a big pick. Tackling was phenomenal, but there were times where like, hey, they got burned, they got beat. Like I saw there, that's the inconsistency. The edge room and the defensive line has been bragged about consistently, and they've almost kind of quit talking about it because, in my opinion, it is everything is advertised. The edge room from LJ to KJ Ford to Jaden Woods, those guys who, and look, Cam James is a consistent piece, but those three guys showed what we saw in the clips of them hitting the bag. I saw it come in real life. And Woods, man, he
so fast,
bro. And it's like, so year one, like it was just fast and physical, and like, hey, let's just go use your physical attributes. Now it's physical attributes with knowledge of the game.
Yeah,
and it's gross to watch. He's a technician. He's a technician out there. And LJ is going to bring a very nice piece to it. Yeah, the interior, and then if the interior will get beat, the linebackers are right there to welcome you in, like the cart buggy at Walmart. Like, hey, you need a buggy? They're right there, ready to get you one. You know what I mean? Like it was nuts.
Yeah, I was actually fortunate as I had my eye on Emmanuel Oyabadijo.
Yeah,
that's the play he actually made a sack on. And I saw him come around right edge, and that play did flash the description of him as being faster than he probably should be for his size. I mean,
I'm glad you saw that. It's hard to see a lot, so I'm glad.
Oh, dude, I know. Yeah.
That was one body that I didn't have a chance to look at, man. Like I was up a little high, so I couldn't really see too much in the interior line, like on the or I was angled. I could see a lot more of like where the offense was. I felt like DBs are all obviously much easier to watch, and I was kind of watching just route tree for me was big to watch, and then quarterback presence as well. It's tough because the sacks are kind of weird. Right. Like he would step up, but I would start to look ahead of him, and they blow the whistle. I'm like, what happened? Because it's like kind of 50-50 on what is considered a sack. So it's great getting all different eyes. That's why it's when people are having like the full blown opinion, I'm like, what?
It's hard.
You saw it one time. Like nobody's going back and rewatching this. Yeah. So what the hell? What are we talking about?
Yep. David Altman did say need a Stetson Bennett-like style out of Philo or Jones. I'll give a shout out to Will. Will Miles said the same thing. He brought up Stetson Bennett, with Buster back at Georgia, saying the type of play, especially with their legs, because obviously they were limited how much they were going to run, how much they could be hit. That was an aspect of the offense that I think will be not a huge piece, not a Haynes King piece of this offense, but obviously to keep these defensive ends in check a little bit. Who shined at DN? We just talked about that as well. Octavian going back. This was one of the best weekends I had in a while. Shelton with I Know the Voice made me smile like Spurrier. I missed that one. So what was that about?
I said it on my show. I didn't say it tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. He turned around I've never seen him. And he goes, "Hey man," I go, "It's Octavian." Like I knew immediately who it was. Okay. I mentioned it last night because I
gotcha.
I knew by his voice who it was.
Oh man. Yeah, so trying to think.
Yeah, I mean, quarterback. The big thing I said last night.
Running back two behind Ball. I mean, Duke Clark
looked really good. Yeah.
Which was another one of those hearing it throughout the spring, and it showed up in the spring game.
Yeah. You've covered a lot more spring games than I have. So I want your perspective on this because I mentioned it last night. Just compared to last year to this year. Two things. And you can either confirm or maybe I'm just crazy. Last year was exciting. It was fun. We saw Dallas Wilson pop off. It was a much more fun game in comparison to Billy's previous spring games.
I mean, right? Harrison Bailey was chucking it everywhere.
Yeah. And it almost felt kind of like propped up in comparison to what yesterday was. It felt very raw. It felt like nobody really cared to put on a show. They're like, not that like, I don't know, say they did last year, but in comparison, it was like, we're just going to go play a game. Like mano a mano, you're going to call plays and we're going to like Buster was trying stuff, figuring things out the same way Brad White was. Like, we know that fans are watching, but we don't really care about selling anything to these people. We want to put on we want to put on a show as if it was game week 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's kind of how.
And Brad White said after the game that look, we weren't pressuring this game. I think I might have saw 1 or 2 blitzes or attempted blitzes, and then one was about to be attempted and a flag was thrown, so it never even happen. Yeah. So it was very controlled, and it was probably a very, 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 very vanilla version of the Buster offense. Sure. And then on the other side, Brad White's not bringing any pressure, not disguising coverages or anything like that. This was pretty much what I use, and I said this too. Spring games are about mostly one-on-one.
How do you just?
Yeah, that's what the coaches are mostly looking for.
They're trying to grade individuals and really just want to kind of set that person up to fail and succeed, or mainly just put them in the most pressure situation possible,
right? And
see how they're gonna step up. The other thing,
that's why they threw the ball a lot more than they ran the ball. If you're going to work on
with these,
if you're going to work on something up front with this offensive line, I think run blocking is probably a little easier to come by, which I wasn't too disappointed. I know the rushing yardage wasn't crazy yesterday. I wasn't terribly disappointed by the run blocking.
I felt like when they wanted to run the ball, they popped. And it was just the one. I said it last night. One of the run plays they did a little offset because they had everything to the right. And I love these kind of run plays where basically there's just one receiver, one guy, and everyone kind of cheats over. If you can make one guy miss, you're gone. And that's what happened. I don't know who it was, but broke off for a big run. I was like, I love those. Billy would always run right into the teeth of it. And everyone has to execute. It's like, what are we doing? Look, you can't do that every time because also can get blown up. Yeah. But there was times between the tackles, they were just popping through and taking off. So I felt like when they wanted to run the ball, they were very efficient with it. But you're 100% right. If you also know, hey, they're going to throw the ball, you can kind of play on your heels a little bit, right? Or on your toes, however you want to think about it, and kind of cheat. And I feel like that was kind of that Coleman interception probably was one of those scenarios. You guys can throw the ball. And that was a big factor. The other thing was the efficiency. Yeah. I mean, it was just bang, bang, bang. I mean, the rotation in and out, subbing guys out. That
was another reason why it was hard to keep up with.
Ton of rotation.
Yeah.
Ton of rotation, dude. Everywhere. I mean, the quarterback switching every single series. Other guys are switching every series. But to have all of that going on, there was times where I felt like watching last year's spring game, there's a transition between the punts and doing things. It was kind of sticky, right? Yeah. All right, let's talk about it for a minute. That's where I mean, it was ran like a game. It was okay, 4th and 1. All right, punting team, go punt. And it was just, it's one dude. But either way, you still had that very nice flow to the game. I felt like we got a lot out of it, if that makes sense. A lot of football from it.
I think with that format and setup that they had, that's probably what was going to happen. Now, when you say that, thinking about it off the top of my head, that's probably what that kind of lends itself to. I mean, of course, spring games are always, you go against each other. But since it wasn't your typical game, you'd have Aaron Philo throwing an interception on one drive. Well, you know what? Very next drive, he's going right back out there. Kind of like a real game scenario. It's not like, so I like how they set it up in that regard. All right, well, in a real game scenario, you're going to go to the sideline after that, and you're going to go right back out there for another drive. Yeah. So, it was things like that. But I do wonder, as you said, we only got to see it once. You can't really go and study it like the way you really want to. What changed? Did Buster open up the offense a little bit more right before halftime? Obviously, the double moves were something he was like, this is going to work. Because it was 2 big plays in a row where it was the double moves and touchdowns were scored off those double moves. So obviously he was like, all right, maybe it was something in camp he saw. Maybe it was just something in this game, in the spring game atmosphere that he saw was double move, and we're going to get some big plays off of those. But I think all in all, I do like your phrasing of that. I think there was a lot for this coaching staff to go back and look at because of how the format of the offense versus defense.
And not to give any, obviously they're a professional coaching staff. It's their job to be ready and prepared. But to think that this staff was put together 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And these kids were all, kind of have come together within the last 4 months. There's still a long way to go before the seasons for these guys to learn the offense better, understand each other more. When you take all that into consideration, you're trying to build everything in 4 months. We're talking foundation. We're talking culture. We're talking new playbook. We're talking the portal everyone has to deal with, right? So I won't count that as much. But and rotation obviously is a part for anybody, but you're having to build all that in 4 months. And when you take that into consideration, and it's not an excuse, but it's a matter of the fact, you kind of forgot that they just got there 4 months ago. And I think that's a huge compliment to how they looked. Because again, going back to the last 4 years, like there was times where it's like, man, like I would say, oh, well, it's only spring, but like, okay, you've been here for 3 years. That for me was like, man, like it felt like a good, just kind of good old practice, good spring. Like, were there some areas for improvement for sure? But when you really think about, hey, they've only been there for 4 months and everybody was kind of flowing that well, that to me is where I think we had to kind of remind ourselves of like, maybe it's actually a lot farther than, we think, given where they started or how long ago. I guess.
Yeah. And we know the big thing. Oh, I think I'm frozen, but you can still hear my voice, right?
Why are you so pissed off at me, Dave? I thought it was a good.
I'll try and fix it in just a second.
Did you click off the screen? Are you searching the screen?
No, I don't know what happened. Mine does. Yeah, this has happened before, so it's got something to do with my cam link, I think. It's just weird. I'm staring at myself here. Just I do look pissed off, don't I? Dave Altman with a comment here through the super chat. Did anyone stand out as a leader on each side of the ball? I will say he didn't have to be out there, I don't think. Miles Graham being on the field, him actually putting himself on the field and playing a little bit, I think showed leadership to me. Because earlier this spring, we weren't sure he was going to be out there. Coaching staff was like, yeah, maybe he'll be available later on this spring. He said in his first press conference, yeah, I'm going to be out there. And then spring game rolls around, and I think we heard it the second scrimmage. He was trying to get out there a little bit, and then we get to the spring game, and he probably didn't have to be out there. But I think he himself wanted to show something by being out there.
Yeah, I don't have someone, to be honest with you. I'd be making one up if I told you that I did. Again, I was trying to watch a lot going on.
Yeah, that's just me. That's just an example of him just actually being out there.
No, I agree. I think that was
showing leadership. Yeah, that was really hard to pick up on.
No, I think that was great. I just, it was, again, there's a lot going on. You're trying to watch a multitude of different things, and that was harder for me to pick up on. But all in all, it was a great weekend. I enjoyed every minute of it. Yeah. Every minute of it. Very excited. Again, they've got a whole nother regime. They all look good. There was a cool little moment. I won't say this. I'm excited to see how these guys are going to grow physically over the next couple of months as well, too, which will be fun to watch.
That was the storyline after the game, was Summerall basically calling out, not calling out the offensive line, but well, maybe it was a call out. I guess we could call it that. It's like, hey, these guys got to be ready by summer.
Mm-hmm. It's on you. Like, look, and I think that's kind of how I felt. There were times where the offensive line was clicking. It's like, look, you're close. How bad do you want this? And, and if you're in coach's spot, it's like, look, there's only so much I can do. I can't go find, I can't replace you. So you're here for now. Right. And so I'm not going to really beat around the bush or make excuses for your ass. Like, if you guys suck, I'm going to say, hey, we suck because this offensive line sucked. We did a poor job. We didn't do a good enough of the job in the portal. It's not going to happen again. These guys are ass. They're out of here. Or you're going to like, hey, take initiative and suck it the hell up. So Troutwine was the only coach that did not look happy. And I don't know if he was just for whatever reason it was, but I walked up to him and I was like, hey, man, how's it going? I was like, hey, coach, appreciate you. Hey, man, thanks. Like, everyone was pretty kind of excited. He was just like not about it. And I've seen him. He's usually pretty I've seen videos of him and kind of people talking to him. He's usually pretty chipper. And I'm not trying to, hopefully I'm not saying anything wrong here. Like, I'm not saying like he was an asshole to me. Like, he was very polite to me. Like, hey, man, like, cool. But you could just see his demeanor. Like, he was just irritated after the fact. Like, he's wanting to choose someone out, but I wanted to go sign autographs. So I think he's kind of just steaming. Like, I want to make these guys run or something. It was kind of how the energy that I felt.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, he sat everybody down and said something. I kind of walked away. It was nuts because I was blessed to be on the field, and like, bro, it's wild when you go out there, like you're kind of with humans.
Yeah.
And then you walk at the field and they're all on their knees. You kind of walk up and say, hey, what's up? And then they stand up and it gets dark because the sun's blocked.
Yeah. Like, I was on that day, I was standing at the tunnel getting ready to go into the press conference area. So they had to come to the tunnel, and to go sign autographs, they brought out all the bins so they could throw their helmets and their shoulder pads and all that stuff. Well, where I was at, everybody, if you see me in person, I'm not the biggest person. I'm not that tall, I'm not that big.
Not big.
I'm fast. We'll get into just some more comments about that here in just a second too. But of course, where I'm at, here comes the offensive linemen and defensive linemen, and they're just like you said, man. It's just massive, and it's still. I mean, I've been in that position many a times, but it still amazes me. These are 18, 19, 20 years old.
That's the humbling part. They're kids, dog. Walking up to you, just like tapping you on the head, like, "Hey, man, good to see you." Right. You're grown at me. No, I'm just kidding. They're cool, man. I saw Tramel. Obviously, we've had Tramel on the show, and dude, every time I see Tramel, man, he's like, "Hey, man, I was going like very personal, such a lovable dude." Will Griffin too. Najee Harris was able to see him. I've had him on. He's an awesome guy. Aaron Childs, man. I met his mom this weekend, and then I saw him again, and immediately was like, "What's going on, man?" Took a picture of myself. Let me get a picture with him. Like, dude, one of the most lovable human beings. Cannot help but cheer for that guy. Miles Graham too. Everybody was. These are just guys that I interacted with. Even Kermani. This is the first time I had talked with Kermani. Obviously, I've seen him from afar. He has grown tremendously since being here. Very cool. Very cool. Everybody was really cool. One of the running backs, my son, I think it was Byron Lewis. My son was like rolling around. We were waiting for Jaden Ball. He was cracking up watching my son be a little crackhead. So it was cool to see, like, for a minute, get kind of believe personality. I think that's what such a cool event that Florida Victorious does. It's definitely a unique experience that you get a piece of that you never got before. So
yeah. I mean, Coach was sitting there trying to take as many pictures as he could with everybody and all that. His line was a mile long, so it was pretty cool to see. It is always after these spring games. I think the last 3 or 4 years they've done this autograph signing thing, so they've got that figured out.
I spoiled myself this time, Dave. Look at this thing. I don't know if you got to see it.
Oh, so I saw the helmet before all the signatures.
Yeah, you saw it with just some raw. Yeah.
Yep.
Finally.
Nice.
Yeah, I was pumped.
Hey, so you have that. Since I'm not widescreen, so you can't see it. I have the same white helmet as well. Are you a white helmet Fast F fan?
Big time. Yeah, big time. Yeah.
Good.
The other ones.
I mean, yeah.
You got to bring. We won a championship with this. We won a championship with this helmet.
Right.
Or it was that era, at least, that I remember us winning.
Yeah. Right. The era. Yeah. I mean, they got to bring those back.
Oh, 100%. I don't know. It's a freebie. I mean, they're exceptional. And even with like the old jerseys with like the kind of like the Nike Vapor, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Well, it's just like you can't. That is that Tebow jersey, right? There that you can barely see.
Full screen you.
It's that one.
I see it. But the white ones, though, I see it
the
now.
white ones. Yeah.
The white ones, and it was like a
game.
Yeah. Primo.
But yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's that Tebow one back there. But
there's your. I like the blue one too. I actually have.
That was against SSU. His final home game.
I have that one outside. I like that one. I do have the black one. I did get the black one just because it was unique.
Yeah.
I wasn't like in love with it, but I like. Weirdly enough, the orange one, I feel like I see it so often. I try to I kind of go away from it because I see it so often. So it's like, the unique ones I'm a big fan of.
So
some Q&A real quick.
The jokes on the frozen camera. Dave saw his 40-yard dash time. Scott, here we go. This is a good one. Dave looking at another Billy Napier screen call.
I couldn't look at the screen anymore because I was cheesing out. I had to look away. It was tough.
I noticed that, by the way. So that's one reason I wanted to try and get it fixed. So,
real quick, did Stubbs have a bad showing? Question from Scott there. I saw some people. I didn't see.
Yep. So the one Philo touchdown to Mays in the end zone, it was right over the middle.
Was that Stubbs in no man's land?
It was right over Stubbs in kind of no man's land. And I did see another replay today where I'm a little more forgiving on it, but I still think he could have made a play. I think it probably was a really, really good throw by Philo. I still thought he could have left his feet and maybe made a play on the ball. But when I saw it initially, I thought all he really had to do was just put his hand up. It was a little higher of a throw than I thought, so I'll give a little more credit to Philo throw. But I don't know if it's the way his feet were not balanced and he just couldn't get up off his feet. To me, all he had to do was jump. I just don't know where he was at in his weight distribution if he could jump. But all he had to do was jump to hit that ball. So, but
he was,
maybe that's a little nitpicky.
I didn't know who it was, but yes, the safety that was. I remember the touchdown pass on Mike. I was like, oh, it wasn't a hard throw. It wasn't even like it was just a blown coverage.
Yeah.
I was like, but he's lost. It looked like Castell 2.0 out there. Yeah, I saw it. I was happy that we threw a touchdown pass, and I was like, it was a good throw finally, deep for Philo. That was the positive of that play. Yep. But I was like, that was just nothing special about the play call or anything like that. It was just like, the guy in the middle was lost. He didn't know where the wide receiver was in depth. It was depth.
Right. Junior, hyped up with where we're at now. Thanks for all the great content. Love all of your shows. So awesome to see you all doing great. Go Gators. Thanks, Junior.
93 likes away from 300. Hell yeah.
All right, everybody. You got like 5 minutes. Get us up there.
There's 400 people in here, Dave.
Yeah,
maybe we should, you know what? Maybe we should just, me and you do it more often. Maybe Allie's the
well, if I can go back to my good friend Bull Gator did that would not stand up because I forgot the comment. He said, yeah, here it is. Bull Gator. No, Allie. Well, this episode, I do not need the video.
To be fair, the first like 10 comments were like, "Where's Allie? Why is Allie not here?"
I'm out.
Yeah. I'm out. Yeah. Maybe I misspoke there. Maybe I misspoke
Good
there.
Good
I gotta give her. Look, she's not here, so she's been doing a lot of talking lately.
We're giving her a hard time.
And she doesn't hold any punches either. So I texted her. I said, "How's my champion doing?" Because me and Eric won obviously the Hightop Sports Olympics, and so now I get to hold that over her head for the next.
Yeah.
I'm thinking too, like when we do it again, like I mean, look, when you make the rules, you can do whatever you want. I might put my same 4 together, and whoever is the champion can continue to carry their team on, like to defend their title. I feel like I should be able to do that. But I mean, it may be unfair. I mean, shout out to you because your team fan of misfits.
Yeah,
because you like literally throw together like the last 3 minutes. It was nuts.
You ain't got to do Graham Hall like that, but.
Well, no, I mean, Graham was great. I say misfits. It wasn't like a shot toward your team. It was good.
I know.
It was just the fact of how it came together.
I started on fire.
Yeah.
What was the first thing we did?
The putt game. The drinking and putting.
Yeah. So I did one putt, and then we had the washer and bags after that. I had one washer and one bag, so I was like 3 for 3.
They were saying you were MVP of the sports.
Right. And then we get to the final, and I choked it away. I couldn't do anything.
When the lights get bright.
I know.
When the lights get bright. And, I wonder, because you were on Cody's team originally, and his team had some solid – it was another solid team. If you would have been on that team, it could have been dicey. Could have been dicey. Could have been a little bit of a – could have been interesting. But it was a blast. It was very, very cool. Final questions? Yeah, Team Allie was all replacements too. Yeah, Team Allie was a last minute. It got dicey there. Look, everybody who like Aaron was one. His wife got sick. Everybody communicated that they weren't going to make it. I think outside of maybe 2 people that were on my team and somebody else's, but everybody that mainly communicated they weren't going to make it. But we had plenty of people.
I just got a text from Brett Major, a good friend of mine at Harmonic Woods. He goes, "I think you're ready to take on anyone in the 40 at the tailgate this year." So. That happened a couple years ago. We did a 140, just one. It was 140, and Soderquist shares the video every now and then.
Yeah, I've seen it. You won. Yeah.
That's
how I knew you were gonna be fast because I've seen that video.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, I think the thing is you saw Dave run it. Okay.
Soderquist.
None of us looked like that. So when Dave set that bar, we had the rest. Everyone else had 1 at that point. You can't get any worse than that. You could walk and been fine. You know what I mean? So shout out to Dave.
I went right after him, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, there we go."
Yeah. You look like a hero, like an American hero after you went. Okay, you had just solved cancer after what we had saw. So,
I got to give Champ a shout out too. He did say it too. He did. I know he nailed the first putt of the event. That's right.
He did. And I mean, out of all the people you expect to not make the putt would be Stephen Harris. I mean, athlete, national champion, making a putt after smashing a beer. First one, not there. Shout out to Bozeman again for bringing that, because I was like, the putt thing's not going to work. I just couldn't see it working in that atmosphere. It was probably one of my favorite parts of it because it kind of leveled the playing field a little bit. Even if you play golf, there is no you don't know what the hell is going on there.
Yeah.
Like
I had that game too. He brought it to the Harmonic Woods tailgate one time. I was like, man, I knew I liked you because me and Bozeman get along for a long time. I was like, now we share the same, tailgate games and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bozeman too. He drove me around Friday to get to the complex and all that good stuff too. So he comes to Harmonic Woods all the time as well. So
incredible human being.
Oh, yeah.
One of those incredible human beings that I've been able to hang out with and meet. One of the nicest dudes I've met. Sucks at Olympics, but other than that, he's a great dude.
He himself did pretty damn good. He had to carry that team for a little while.
I love they peaked at their intro. They peaked at the intro.
One last question and we will get out of here. Grace Point. Did LJ McCray play? He did. I thought he played well.
Played really good.
He
very
was
solid. And he played for a while.
Yeah, he played very noticeable at the beginning when the defense was kind of controlling everything. LJ McCray was a big part of that. I do remember that. And then, I remember seeing him late because they threw when Warner and Griffin went back out there.
He was still rocking.
Yeah, their first drives weren't with the starters, but I do think they brought the starters out for
a couple plays.
A couple plays and a drive here or there. So I think to give those guys a little more help. But their first drives were all backups. So that's why wasn't surprised at the struggle there.
No question. Need a wiffle ball match for charity. So I know I would love to do that. I know a guy that has a whole wiffle ball company. Like puts the whole wiffle ball, like his company is a wiffle ball thing. So what he does is he like sets up like events in towns. He used to hear a lot, but he's moved on because it wasn't like we went to towns that it's more popular. And also like 3 fields, you pay like $100, you bring a team of 4, and like there's fences. It's legit. He has like a little like backstop thing for like if you go into the strike zone, the person's automatically out, and it's legit. Like and he'll set it all up. We could do a whole thing. It's like we just meet us here, and he'll put it all together, and it'd be much more efficient than our Olympics. I can promise you that. I can promise you that.
And Ben Chase as well for refereeing. And then
thank God he was there. Honestly, because it was a little dicey at times with the ruling, and I'm like, I'm in the game, so I can't make calls. I thought he was very fair. And we were a little by the last champ. People were yelling at me because I was cheating. I'm like, I'm buzzed. I'm spinning around, dude. I don't even know what's going on.
I was slightly hungover, and then those 5 spins, I was like, Ben, really, man, really, Ben. So that's where we're going with this.
It was tough, and we raised $3,300 for the Boys and Girls Club. So shout out to everybody that donated. Very cool from the 40.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Doing good things. All
right, boys. Well, thank you. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's it. All right, man. I'm good.
Boys and girls, this might be the best Gator Summit show of all time. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. We'll see you guys Thursday, of course, at 8:30. May just be the 2 of us. We haven't making some changes here. We've talked to HR and the upper. I'm not just kidding. Ali will be back. We'll be rocking and rolling. Be sure to go check out our guy Dave at Gators Breakdown, Ali at Peek and Insider, and of course myself over at Hightop Sports. You guys have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you in the next one.